I tried recording this video yesterday, but I was so tired that I couldn't process anything. So, with that being said, today is Valentine's Day, and I thought, what better love is there than the love one has for themselves? So, today we're going to talk about 24 life lessons for 24 years. And while I personally turned 24 this year, last week actually, this video could be helpful for anyone at any age. Some of these things you may already know, and some of them you might not. Either way, I can promise that it'll be worth it to watch till the end. Lesson number 1. Start with whatever you have. I touched on this point 2 videos back, but the gist of it is, instead of thinking about all the things you need to start something, just start with whatever you have right now. The rest will come later. Whether it's learning an instrument or making a YouTube video, or simply improving on an academic subject, in the world of reasons to not try something, find the one reason to do it. Lesson number 2. Don't overthink anything. Growing up, I used to constantly overthink about things. Whether there was something to think about, then I would be thinking about that. And when there was something not to think about, you best believe my brain will come up with something. But ultimately, I realized that none of that matters. Nobody cares about what I have to say, or what I'm wearing, or what I'm doing. Because ultimately, everyone's doing their own thing. And with that, everyone's got their own problems to figure out. So, in the best way possible, no one really cares about you. Lesson number 3. Celebrate the small wins. You see, the more I grow up, the more I see people only celebrating the big things in their lives. Whether that be a new job, a promotion, a birthday, a wedding, an anniversary, and Valentine's Day. But I realize now that those celebrations are far few and apart. And that brings me to the main idea. Celebrate the small wins. If you did something good today or in a week, treat yourself to celebrate it. But don't get me wrong, I'm not saying celebrate lavishly. I do believe that the fruits of your labor should be proportional to the labor itself. So if you were able to finish all the tasks you had on a particular day, I think that calls for a small celebration itself. Whether that be having a piece of cake or watching a TV show that you've been meaning to watch for a very long time. Whatever it may be, celebrate the small wins. Number 4. Nothing is permanent. You see, my life between 2019 and the middle of 2021 was just absolutely unforgettable. But that soon came crashing down. I was sad for quite some time, but better times have come back. Basically, what I'm saying is, good times don't last forever, but neither do the bad times. Whatever it is you're going through right now, all I can say is buckle up, but I promise that it will get better. Lesson number 5. And this is kind of similar to my previous point, but learn to let go of the past. Now, this is something I'm still learning myself, and my god, it is not easy. But I think it's very important to learn to let go of the past. Now, I'm not saying forget everything that you learned from past experiences, but simply learn to filter out the lessons and the learnings from past experiences and get rid of the bad memories and the bad vibes. The latter of which will only slow down your own growth. And life is too short for that. Number 6. Don't let failure get in the way of your success. I only have 2 things to say on this point. Number 1. You learn when you fail. And number 2. No one gets it right on the first try. There's a video by one of my favorite YouTubers, Casey Neistat, which talks about this much better than I'll ever be able to. So I'll link that up here and down in the description. Give it a watch. And before we get to the next part, if you're liking what you're seeing so far, throw me a like and a subscribe. It's free. Now, the next couple of lessons are going to be about your social life, that being with yourself and with other people. So, with that being said, lesson number 7. The only person who's going to be there for you is yourself. Now, I'm sorry to be so negative, but chances are that the people you're surrounded by right now won't be there for long. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be a bad thing. People just move on and do different things in their lives. So, all I'm saying is, try to find that balance between spending time with other people and also working on yourself. Because as I said, the only person who's going to be there for you is yourself. Number 8. Stop chasing after people. Now, this is something I learned the hard way myself, and I hope to God that you don't have to as well. But basically, do not chase after people who are not right for you. If you're trying to become friends with someone, or if you like someone but they're not giving the same attention that you're giving them, just let it go. Because what you don't realize is as you keep on chasing someone, your own self-worth goes down. Trust me when I say this, the right people will come around. So if there's someone in your life right now who's not giving you attention or not talking to you the way that you want them to talk to you or give you attention, stop chasing them. Number 9, you have to fight and work hard for all the good things in life. So there's this quote, and the first time I heard it, it really rung very true for me. If it were easy, everyone would do it. What that means is the good things in life, the good things you want, and the good things that you deserve all come through hard work. Growing up, I used to be someone who didn't take things very seriously. I used to think that things would just work out and things would just come my way as life goes by. But soon enough, I realized that you need to work hard for the things you want in life because no one's going to hand anything out to you and no one's going to do you any favors. Lesson number 10, or at least I hope it's number 10. Limit your social media usage as much as possible. Back in 2021, when my social life and everything kind of came crashing down, as I said before, the first thing I did was delete all my social media accounts. And I'm not saying delete my accounts itself, I just deleted the apps from my phone. And for the next 1.5 to 2 years, I was not on any social media whatsoever. If you go on my Instagram right now, you'll see a lot of posts going until 2021, and then afterwards there have been a lot of sporadic postings here and there. It's only very recently that I started posting again regularly. Now, for those of us who have a huge social media addiction, I know this sounds impossible. I thought it was impossible too. But once I deleted it and once I just pulled the trigger, I found so much more time in my life to do other things that I wanted to do and things I had to do. And I just started enjoying life more in general. You see, the problem with social media is that everyone on there is posting their highlight reel. So in a moment when you're feeling sad or you're feeling bad, or you're just not going through a good time in general, we as humans tend to compare our low times with only the high times that other people are posting. And that leads to this subconscious comparison between how you're living life right now, very sad and depressed, versus how they're always having fun, going out partying and being with friends. Ultimately, everyone has good days and everyone has bad days, but social media only shows the good days. So for your own sanity, your own happiness and your own mental health, please limit your social media usage as much as possible. Lesson 11, be nice to yourself. Now, I don't know about you, but at least for me, there's a huge perfectionist inside. Now, the thing is, when someone else makes a mistake, I'm usually very forgiving and don't think about it much. I say, it's okay, you can do it again, just give it another shot. But God forbid I make the same mistake, because if I do, I'm going to absolutely tear myself apart. Because in my eyes, I always have to be perfect, but it's fine if other people are not. But ultimately, we're all human at the end of the day. We're all going to make mistakes and we're all going to have our successes and failures in life. So really, be nice to yourself. In the long run, it helps out so much. Lesson number 12, and we're at the halfway point. It's okay to be selfish sometimes. Now, when we're talking about selfishness, there's two types. There's the good selfish and the bad selfish. The bad selfish is when you have food and you have friends around you who do not have food. You eat all the food for yourself and don't offer to share it with anyone else. But the good selfish is knowing when to say no and knowing when to say yes. You don't always have to say yes to every single favor someone asks of you. You don't always have to say yes to every outing that people offer to take you out on. The better way to handle these situations is to find that balance. You need to find that balance between saying yes to other people but saying no for when it's better for you, saying yes to other people to go out but saying no when you need to stay home and do some work, and other such things. Number 13, take care of your skin. You see, your skin and your body are going to be here for as long as you're going to be here. So it's better to take care of them. Every single day when you take a shower, learn to moisturize. Put on sunscreen when you go out. Shampoo your hair, brush your teeth. Simply put, whatever counts as skincare or basic hygiene, do them all diligently. You'll thank yourself in the long run. Lesson number 14. Try to get some sunshine every single day, but wear sunscreen. I found that on days when I'm cooped up at home with no natural light coming my way at all, those are the days when I'm the saddest and the most unmotivated. Even 5 minutes of being out in the sun, going for a walk, going for a run, just going out in the sun for even 5 minutes a day helps so much. My personal life hack is I use sunlight to light my videos. So I'm getting sunlight right now. Lesson number 15. Find a balance between the bigger picture and short term fun. What I mean by this is that long term goals are always more important than short term fun. If you can choose to stay at home for a weekend to work on something that benefits your own future, that is infinitely more beneficial than having a whole weekend of fun. Now, I don't want to sound like your mom or your dad, so I'm gonna let you be the judge of what that balance should be like. But the important part is to just find that balance. Number 16, embrace uncertainty. Now, look, ultimately, no one can decide their future. If good things happen, then that's great. But if bad things happen, then just embrace that as well. Because what you don't realize right now is that these bad things that may happen to you help you become a better person. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Number 17, say yes to more. Now, this doesn't mean to say yes to everything that's asked of you, it simply means to take more risks. Speaking from personal experience, some of my best memories in life are the things that I said yes to on a whim. Number 18, healing is a journey. We've all had bad times in our lives, every single one of us. And the one thing that I've learned, and the one thing that I want you to learn, is that healing is a journey. You can't expect to heal from a devastating event within a day or two. All these things take time. Healing is a journey, simply put. There's this whole thing about 5 stages of grief, and that rings very true for me from past experiences. And quite possibly, it's going to be the same for you. So basically, do not force it, do not try to make it faster. Healing is a journey, it'll take time, but it'll get better. Lesson number 90. The best time to start is right now. I'm sure you've all had regrets about not starting things sooner. Even right now, when I go for runs every single day, I get so tired sometimes that I think, why didn't I start this sooner? But then I realize that you really can't change the past no matter what. So the best time to start is right now. Even though you didn't do it yesterday, that's fine. You have right now, you have the future. Start right now. And this is a great segue to my next point. Time is your friend. If you think about it, and you probably have heard about this already, but time is like a currency of its own. Right now, right at this moment, you have so much time left for yourself that you can do whatever you want to do and actually become good at it. So don't really think about it as time has run out. Instead, think about all the time you have going forward. And with that mindset, work on whatever it is you want to work on. Lesson number 20. Surround yourself with good people. Now, what I realized growing up is that a lot of things that make you who you are is in direct relation to the people you're surrounded with. Meaning that if you're surrounded with good people who have good intentions, who work on themselves, who also motivate others to work on themselves, then you will go far in life, honestly. Because they help you become who you want to be and who you are. They motivate you, they inspire you. So always learn to surround yourself with good people. Lesson 22. No one tells the full story. Let me paint you a picture. How many times when you meet someone and they ask you, how are you? Do you say, I'm fine, and that's the end of it? Similar to my previous point about how social media usage should be reduced, this is kind of the same thing. People don't tell the full story. Even though on the surface people are saying that they're fine or that they're doing good, that's not always the correct answer. That's not always the whole truth. As a general rule, I think people should just start being more honest with other people about what they're actually going through and how they actually are. At least that way, people would be a lot more empathetic towards other people. And that's just a great outcome for everyone. Lesson number 23. Some will have it better, some will have it worse. Adding further on to the point of comparison, I've realized that no two people can ever be compared one to one. I mean, I'm 24 right now, and there are people younger than me, maybe even much younger than me, who have a much better life than I do. But on the flip side, there might be people who are older than me, who might have a worse life than me. Now look, I'm not saying that people should be comparing themselves to each other at all. That is exactly the opposite of my point. I'm just saying that people should be grateful and thankful for what they have right now, right this second. And just work harder and work better to get the things that they want in the future. Because outcomes can change and you can change your own future. And that is something that I believe in wholeheartedly. And last but not least, lesson number 24. You're on your own path, your own timeline. I know I keep circling back to the point of comparison so much, and that is because that is something that I've been struggling with a lot, and that is something that I've been working on getting better with time. But quite often, I would find myself looking up celebrities, those who are younger than me and those who are older than me, or even people who are doing things that I want to be doing in my own life. And I constantly find myself asking, why do they have it and I don't? And that would lead to this whole episode of me thinking that life is unfair and all that stuff. But the thing is, once again, you really cannot compare your life to someone else's life. that isn't fair to you, neither is it fair to them. I'm sure you've heard the story of Obama becoming a president at a younger age than Trump did, but ultimately they both still became presidents. Just because one was older when they took office does not make it any less of being a president than the other person. Anyway guys, thanks so much for watching. I know this was a different kind of video, but this has been something that I've been thinking about a lot lately. And it's just the fact that I've turned 24 this year, and these are just some of the learnings that I've made along the way. So with that being said, I hope you learned something from this video, and I hope you enjoyed what you saw. Please stick around, please throw me a like, please throw me a subscribe, please leave a comment if you found it helpful, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.